Now the run chase has commenced for the Australians. Welcome back to Goal. Peter Walsh with you for Pat Silcox and our troops here that are gathered after a lunch. Not sure what we had, but we had something, didn't we, Pat? Welcome back.
Thanks, Walshy. Great to be back.
What did we have?
Well, there was a bit of sweet and sour chicken in there.
Not
sure what the other thing was, but anyway, Australia looked to get underway here, and Stephen Mace is forcing out into the offside, and they run beautifully between the wickets, so they'll get through for a couple. So Australia underway in pursuit of the tally that Canada knocked up in their 45 over stint in the first session, 9 for 124, so the Aussies needing 125 for victory.
Yes, and you would think with the batting that they have in the shed, that won't be a difficult task, but I'd reckon that they'd just like to get some solid starts by their top order batsmen as we get ready for some more good cricket. The sun's coming out too. It was a little fresh during the lunch break, but it's okay now when the Australians chasing 125 for victory and hopeful of getting in and settling in and doing the right thing and getting some runs too. Quite a few people here as Roy is the one who is rolling in and getting his arm into action. I'll tell you what, they had to go at the food at lunch. There was no messing around, was there?
No, they were keen to replenish their stocks, getting ready for a busy afternoon. You'd expect the Australians will certainly play aggressively here. Look to get the early ascendancy. Stephen Mace opening up the batting with Paul Ryan from the ACT. Mace is back and timing that one beautifully through point. And that will get to the boundary for a 4.
Good shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, he looked very comfortable there, Stephen Mace. Not a heap of pace coming through from Roy. And almost just sort of gets to a stationary point where he gets to the crease before he releases. But Mace rocked back and timed it to absolute perfection.
No pace for Mace. He was never out of the race. Will I stop that now?
I thought it was beautifully worked, Walshy.
Yes, he's going to enjoy himself. And it's going to be a tough, I reckon, hour for Canada. Australia displaying their wares. A few mates I've come up with from the Ballarat area and just saying, well, who would be the best batsman that we have to watch? I said, look, I can't answer that question because you mightn't see all the ones that you want, but today, if you're lucky enough to see Kratzman, you might have some fun. That might be the case. You never know though, do you?
Again, Mace is hitting crisply out into the offside. Canada have got the answers this time in the field, so that's the end of the over. And Australia none for 6 with Stephen Mace. All of those to his name. He's 6. Ryan yet to face a ball. And Roy through his opening over. No maidens and none for 6.
Now the matches, Spirit of Cricket World 11 and Australia over 55s are in action. The Spirit of Cricket World 11 got 7 for 189. And the Australia O's over 50 got 8 for 260. So some good runs being scored there. Hardy got half century and Maguire got 49. So some runs not being plummeted because we, of course, aren't in an awareness of that game. We're watching this one here, but we'll keep you posted.
Now obviously, the pitch at Kenny Park in pretty good order there. 260 from their allotted 40 overs. And the USA a none for 8 in reply. Almost through 2 overs there. And Australia looking at 173 to win off 42 overs at 4.12 per over. They're currently none for 17 after 3 out at Redcliffs.
It's good to be able to get these scores, and it's for people that we're never too sure as to who's listening or who's watching, but we hope to be able to share them as much as we can and also introduce you to some of those who can have a story to tell, but of course the story that they are writing is being scripted for them in the middle of the cricket pitch, so it's a bit hard for them to do both at the same time.
Okay, so just waiting on the start of our second over. This one from the Murray River end here at Alcheringa. And just waiting on an update here. Ryan will be taking strike. Just haven't quite got a handle on the bowling just yet, as that one's pushed out to mid-off and no run. See Kiran Patil in behind the stumps there. Looks very tidy with the gloves on. And the Aussies once again just turning the strike over, which was something, Peter Walsh, we didn't see probably enough of from the Canadians.
No, not a lot. didn't see too many boundaries. I think we clicked up into double figures in the finish, over 10, but it was a pretty good performance by the Australians. They had, well, nothing out of the ordinary from any particular bowler. Bloomfield got 2 for 25, Sharma 2 for 31, and Waddington 1 for 19. Singles also to Trindle, who got 1 for 15, and some run-outs didn't help, so it was a good steady performance, very consistent bowling lineup by the Australians. And we see the Australians aware of the fact that let's count the fieldsmen and let's work out where they are.
So Kaiser is their man in operation from the river end as he's dispatched down the ground to mid-on, and that is going to probably just about get to the line. I think it will. It just crosses the rope now, so got to say Stephen Mace is in a bit of a hurry, Peter. Maybe he's got something on at about 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Races at Bendigo. Yes, and the actions there of Roy at Roy. He was working so hard to try and catch that ball. He was never going to get near it, but his legs were pumping out there.
Yep.
Hit very sweetly indeed. Very sweetly. The next ball off the back foot is hit hard away. I'm just looking from over our computer here, and they are able to get through for 1 run. So the Australians, in a hurry, they must have enjoyed their lunch. There might be something up later on if they get there early.
Maybe. Some sort of incentive that they discussed at the half-time break. As we just wait for a couple of field adjustments here. The left-handed Ryan now on strike. Be interesting to see how long Canada elect to have only just the 2 men outside the ring. They'll be looking to try and make sure they can cover all the gaps. Nice hustle there, coming in off the 30-metre arc on the offside there, restricts the single.
Just put yourself in a situation of if you were sitting in the Australian room, just about ready to go out and bat or being in the batting lineup, what would be the message from the captain about how do we tackle this sort of total, 125? What would be the line of attack to how we go?
I think it's all about playing positively, Peter, and just trying to turn the strike over. I mean, just need to be smart. I mean, sometimes small totals can be challenging to chase. We've certainly seen that in the 4th innings of Test matches over the years. But in a one-day sort of situation, you'd think you should be reasonably comfortable chasing 125. But a couple of early wickets, and you just never know. But I think they'll look to get through their opening 10, none down, maybe ticking over at about 4 and over, and that really sets the tone then, doesn't it?
It does, yep. And then the 2 other matches with the scores have been in excess of 150. Well, you think to yourself, that's going to be hard to chase down, but 125 to win with a good, strong batting lineup. It's going to take a couple of wickets, and a couple of wickets quickly from the Canada bowling attack. They're just trying to work out who's doing what there. Kieran Patel, the wicketkeeper, doing some work by way of waving. And it's an interesting bowling action. The bowler coming in and bowling from a right angle is really coming in on an angle.
Quite an angled approach, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
A bit almost Malcolm Marshall-esque. He used to have that quite staggered to the left run through.
The big difference is that Malcolm Marshall's a little quicker than this bloke.
Just a touch, yeah.
No, but it's interesting to see what is going to happen. Roy at Roy. Now, what's he doing? Is he going to change the angle?
Going to come around the wicket, I think, for the left-hander.
Yeah, so he's actually disappeared from where the umpire stands. And he's going to bowl this reasonably straight, I think, from where he's marking out his guard there. A lot of arms going and waving, etc., etc. Man standing up for the fast bowler. He's not all that quick, but you don't often see that. You see a wicketkeeper standing up when it's the second over of a match. Now he spins wide and comes in, and that ball is turned around the corner. They're going to look for a run, are they? Yes, they are. And this is where the Australians do so well. They bat together and they organise a partnership, and they're really conscious of getting those 1s and 2s.
Spot on, Walshy, as Roy gets back to the top of his mark. Score is none for 12. Mace has certainly been busy early. 2 boundaries in his tally of 11 so far.
This ball over pitched on leg side, and it might not have touched the glove, so this could be buys. We'll wait and see. The batsmen have one and come back to complete two. And we're looking at Billy, who's just gone out of sight for the moment, but I did think that he did give the signal. Not sure.
Just the one scored there. I thought they were going to get back for the second, but good hustle in the deep there by the Canadians, which brings Stephen Mace back onto strike.
And the bowler now to Mace. He's gone wide again. He's going to go cut in from about a 45 degrees angle. And he starts now, and you can count his paces if you like, because he has a few as he delivers outside the off stump, and it's cut hard off the back foot. Good shot. It's going to run deep out towards the boundary on the offside as they come back to complete a couple. It's a good shot, but very small steps coming in, isn't it? Very small steps.
Yep. I'll focus in with a bit more attention this time to do the count. I missed the first couple last time.
He's got a few, but then only to one of the batsmen. There's Roy, enjoying himself. He said hello during the lunch break. The reason I didn't say anything was I thought Pat was counting, so we might have an official answer.
Deep in concentration. Well, there's quite a few, I can tell you, Peter. He's probably up around.
That's not an answer.
Around the 20-ish mark, I would have thought I counted by the end, but they're certainly short little shuffles, aren't they?
Yeah. Give us a ring. Don't tell us what you think the number is. Just ring us. You've got to be more specific, Pat.
Well, I said 20 odd, so
20 odd. Okay.
Let's go for about 23.
Yeah,
How about that?
Enough. That's fair enough. Next ball hit hard off the front foot, and
the gap.
It's got through too. It's going to go a fair distance towards the boundary, and it's going to roll over the ropes. That was it. Well, very well indeed. The Australians off to a bold start, quick between the wickets for the short singles, but also looking for the ones and twos and finding that boundary. It's a good start.
Hey, we saw a bit of Steve Mace here last year, the inaugural Spirit of Cricket Festivale, and he got better as the carnival went on. He was a little bit slow to start, had a bit of misfortune, but certainly finished very strongly, and he's started full tilt in this opening game here this afternoon.
Gee, they backed themselves too. There's a good run too. It was hit on the go, down the ground on the onside, and as soon as he hit the ball, he was off.
He was.
He scurried through to the opposite end, and this puts extra pressure on the field. Canada, if they were to push hard and try and get a victory, they'd have to have early wickets, and the Australians, to the opposite extent now, have got off to a very bold start, coming up towards the end of the third over. They're already over 5 per over.
You're going very nicely. None for 17 after 3, chasing the target of 125. In fact, make that none for 20 after 3. We get a refresh of the scorecard. Mace is 18 from 12, including 3 boundaries. Ryan a bit more steady, 2 from 6. Mace is back in the action once again. An appeal from the bowler. Nicely taken by Patil behind the stumps. He's got the baseball mask on with the cap backwards. Very American style.
Yes. And that's a good thing too. You'd reckon that you should have the mask, etc., because you never know what could happen when you're standing up to one who's bowling reasonably quickly. Not on that occasion, as that's pushed away on the offside and there's no run. Yeah, as much protection as you can get, in all honesty. You never know what's going to happen, and there's plenty of protection in the sheds if you want some, so go and get some.
Mace solid in defence, just pushes back to the bowler down the pitch. So none for 20, and this is the 4th over. As we mentioned, we've got other games going on around town at the moment. We'll get an update on those for you shortly. As Mace advances and strikes firmly to mid-on. It's a hard one to handle, but Canada managed to keep it just to the 1. In the other over-50s game, which has been played at Kenny Park in Moorbeen, the US, after a reasonably solid start, have lost a couple of quick wickets. They're 2 for 14, chasing Australia A's tally of 8 for 260 as we get back to live action here in Goal. Ryan's just working that off the pads into the onside for no run. And in the over 55s, Australia are none for 37 in the 7th over, chasing the Spirit of Cricket World 11's 7 for 189. As Kaiser just seems to have got onto his line of length at the back end of that over, which is now complete. So there's some movement across the field here as see the right-hander come back into strike. None for 22 Australia after 4 overs, so it's been a very impressive start, Peter Walsh.
Confident start. Yep, out there and let's go. No messing around. The top score in the first innings, Canada getting away with Talati on 41. He finished up being the top scorer. Looked pretty good too. He was there for a while, but then we both agreed that he seemed to get bogged down for a while too.
Yep. But certainly without his input, they probably would have struggled to get over 100, really.
Yep.
Sort of held them together between overs 20 and 35.
Yeah, we've still got to catch up to him as to why he's called the Iceman, but he wasn't going to hang around. He wanted to sit down and have a spell because he was out there for a while. And good on him too, and a very friendly gathering of the Canadians. They're all sitting at the one table having a chat and talking about what it was like out there, and more importantly, working out what was going to happen when the Australians were batting and whether or not there's any particular plan to have them in trouble. At this stage, no, it's all Australia with a none for 22 in the fourth. Next over is driven across the ground, down the ground over the cover point area, and they've gone 1-2. And think about the second, no, just one. They're off in a hurry, but it wasn't going to be the case, and there's just the one run, so it's none for 22.
It's a good old-fashioned heave, wasn't it, from off the leg there from Ryan? Didn't quite time it. I thought it was actually going to go for a maximum. I was getting excited that Billy might have got into stride, but just pitched about 10 metres inside the rope there and stopped, so just the single. So back to Stephen Mace we go.
Yes, I've got to... I think I've got to do some gymnastics movements here to stand up and have a look over the screen here so I can see where the ball goes. The screen actually gives you a magnificent look at what goes on, but we're not too sure whether that's exactly what's going on or what could go on or what. So do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, 100%, Peter.
Now, what's going on? The bowler is not quite sure what is happening. It's been delivered back now. It's gone to Right Roy, who was getting himself organised. So good start by Australia. In the fifth over, none for 25, chasing 125 for victory. So 100 to go. Make that 99 as it's tickled round the corner. Kiran Patil, the wicketkeeper, gets around in a hoe, but there's another run. And they're quite happy. Nothing out of the ordinary. No shots that have given the fieldsman any chance of, oh, this could be a chance of a catch, but they're going along nicely.
Well, the aggressive start for Mace has spread the field a little bit inside the ring, so now those easy singles are certainly on offer, and the Aussies looking to cash in at every available opportunity. Nice bit of tail there, outswing from the big fellow Roy, and Mace just has to play it back into the onside. So we did see a little bit of swing early in the first session, didn't we, with those new balls, and certainly again here. Bit of cloud cover would be certainly helping the right arm medium pacer. Mace unable to find a gap on the offside as he's trying to beat the man there at backward point. None for 26, the Aussies, at the end of 5 overs. Chasing that target of 125 for victory. Stephen Mace is 22. Paul Ryan is 4. And Roy has the figures of none for 19 through his 3 overs. So our current trajectory, 99 required at 2.45 RPO, Peter Walsh.
He played some cricket in Scotland, did Right Roy, and worked through the under-19s and the under-21s as an opening bowler. So he continues to open the bowling. And he'd be enjoying himself. This weather would be nice for him. And that's one thing I'm not sure of as to what Canada would be experiencing now at this time of the year. I don't know, so you'll find out for me, won't you?
I'll do a check for you, Walshy. Just leave it with me.
I just wonder about coming from one experience to another, and some of them, I think the one in particular, one was mentioning about by the time he climbed onto a plane in the United States of America and then landed in Mildura, he'd spent 27 hours on a plane, which is a fair distance, fair time, but enjoyed it. and was just wanting to get out and do what he does best, and that's play the game he loves, which is cricket. And the Veterans Cricket Spirit of Cricket in Mildura, it has a taste that everyone else is enjoying. Plenty of good games to come up too if you get a chance to head out and see what the Australians can do in the other forms of what's going on. Chance of a run out at the non-strikers end. The ball pushed behind square on the onside. They look for single. Backing up might have been for a moment too strong, but fortunately they were able to get back, and Paul Ryan, I should say, was able to get in there and sort it out as they go through for a one run off the next ball. So not massive runs being accumulated off each over, but enough to keep them going at none for 27, chasing a total to win the game of, let's have a look and make sure I just get that 125.
Looks like temps are sitting in around the mid-20s in Canada currently.
Oh, that's not bad.
On the daily, that's pretty comfortable, I would have thought.
Have you been to Canada before?
Yes, I have, yes.
And?
Very good. Yeah, did a bit of Toronto, I think. We did the Niagara Falls tour
really?
and then progressed through over the border and into Toronto. Yeah, no, it was quite a nice spot, actually.
Well, we'd be looking at going to Canada with as much anticipation as they are looking to come to Australia.
Yeah, you're probably right. Back in those days, the exchange was almost like for like, so it was good value. Aussie dollar seemed to go a little bit further there than it did anywhere else.
Yep. Yes, I know. We incestuously look after our sports that we follow, and we, go through the rugby league and the Australian rules football, and then things like the National Basketball League, and then of course you've got the women's soccer, the Matildas, and the Socceroos, and then the hockey teams. When there's Commonwealth Games or there's Olympic Games coming up, we always look at team sports as to how they're going, and you only have to, as we looked at, because of the wonders of modern technology, we sat and watched Jessica Hull finish third in the 1,500 metres final at the World Championships in athletics, and we watched it on your phone during the lunch break. It's just amazing. And then you felt like you could reach out and shake Jessica's hand because she was that close to the camera shot, and she was overjoyed. And the brilliant Bruce McAvaney providing commentary with another champion. And I say that because Graham Manu's the husband of Tasman Manu, and they both play for Hawthorn, so they're okay.
Wasn't quite sure who was more happy, whether it was Jess or it was Bruce. I mean, Bruce was beside himself in the end.
He's a wonderful man, Bruce. And
he is.
The special qualities of that man, lives in Adelaide, and yes, he certainly is a brilliant broadcaster.
So it looks like we've got a bowling change from the Sturt Highway end. Just waiting for an update there. Fortunately, most of the Canadians have rugged up and got the pullovers on, which is covering up their numbers for us, which is not making life overly easy, but we'll stick with it. Stephen Mace is the man on strike.
Yeah, you know what I'd be doing? No,
Nair is our man.
Yeah, but the fact is that what we're doing here is we're broadcasting and we need to know what's going on. So if you don't want to put the top on with your numbers, put the top on with your name. Put it across the name so we know. At least we know what's going on out there, and when you're guessing, well, that doesn't help much. You sort that out, will you?
Yeah, I'll get onto that for you in the coming days. As Mace still looking pretty comfortable out there. He's 24 from 25, including 3 boundaries. Aussie's needing a further 95 from 39 overs at 2.44 runs per over. A bit of hesitation. They'll get through for the single in the end.
A bit lucky.
Mace was sort of stationary and had a low centre of gravity after he'd played the shot, so he wasn't really in position to get up and get through for the quick single, but he was hustled through by his non-striker, Paul Ryan. He's probably keen to see a bit of the action. He's only faced the 12 pills so far.
Well, yes, just a little bit of hesitation, and that being the case, then if there's hesitation, whoever's the fieldsman has to pick up cleanly and throw accurately, but it's a minor hiccup, not rewarded by a run out. That would be the disappointment.
Yeah, we saw a couple in that first session where just stemmed the flow of momentum for them, didn't it? Just a steady flow of wickets. As Ryan looks to hit down the ground, but just gets it around the corner for a single.
Gee, I reckon that's dangerous too when you see Ryan Roy put the foot out to stop the ball, and you hope that he doesn't stand on the ball. I've seen that happen before. As we just pause for a moment until Pat Silcox has finished his coughing fit, which appears to have...
Not ideal, Peter, I must admit.
No, I mentioned seriously about injuries and freakish injuries, and one of those is when you stop the ball and you stand on it. It's one way of busting an ankle or twisting and turning. It didn't happen then, but could have.
I can recall a former Aussie fast bowler doing that sort of trick in the UK on an Ashes tour once, I reckon.
And that was?
The great Glenn McGrath trip over a ball in a
that's
warm-up.
Right, yes. Yes, well, fortunately, no damage done. The Australians still unscathed at none for 31, chasing 125 for victory in this game. And the good value was yesterday afternoon around about this time when it was raining, and actually it was starting to rain quite heavily. You thought to yourself, well, I wonder what's going to happen, and you look at the clock and it is Wednesday, but it's good. No dramas today. And again, we'll never get short of saying to those that are responsible for the curating of all of these venues, deserve the highest praise. Now that score will continue to tick along. It's over 5 per over at the moment, but the important stat is they haven't lost a wicket, Australia. And getting close to... There haven't been too many 50... Well, there hasn't been any 50 partnerships in these runs scored by Canada. It would have been the case in one of the other games, as this ball is driven down the ground, deepish, long off, will be fielded there, and a return back is okay. 1 run required and 1 run needed and scored, so it's now none for 32. Good partnership, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Steve Mace playing with some great intent, looking to get down the pitch to the slow bowlers. This time Ryan rocks back and tries to find a gap there through the point region on the offside. Canadians tidy up in the field.
Who's the best Australian batsman out there in this top order?
Well, based on what we saw last time round with the Spirit of Cricket Festivale, there's more runs to be had. In fact, that will get straight down the ground for a boundary. So the Aussies really moving along nicely. I think Steve Mace was certainly one of the higher profile players that we saw last year. I know a little bit about Brian May from Queensland, and his record playing at district and club level up there is outstanding. So he'll be one to watch. He's not playing today, but I'm sure he's going to play a big role in the coming days.
What just left out? Is that the way it works, like rotations?
Yeah, not sure what the thinking was coming into the game today. I'm sure they'll try and give everyone a good look in over the week-long Festivale, as there's more runs through the offside for the left-hander as he's going to hit the boundary once again. So he's starting to really find his feet now. Paul Ryan, he moves to 16, and the Aussies at none for 42.
A long chase out there. No real chance there of Gudapali to get near it. Gudapali earlier on got 15 in the Canada score of 9 for 124. Best served by Talati on 41. A few got double figures, but Talati was the best with the score, 41, but got bogged down for a while and finished up 9 shy of a half century. None for 38 here. And that might be none for 42 now, as that ball was dragged away on the onside, but not hit too cleanly. They have 1, they'll go for 2. They'll get back safely because the fieldsman out there fell over in the expectation of being able to pick up the ball, but just overbalanced and fell, so they got back for a couple.
So that's the end of the over. The Aussies are moving along very, very comfortably at this stage. And as we said, Mace certainly was the man that set the tone in the first couple of overs, but his partner, Paul Ryan, is now really starting to find his feet. Hit a couple of nice shots through the offside, picked up a couple of boundaries, and they're looking in the box seat at the moment as they continue to build this platform in the opening 10 overs. And I'm sure that Canada will be looking to shuffle through their bowling options, see if they can't prize themselves a couple of scalps.
And the Australians, of course, still have to travel to and from. We go through all of the states that the Australians come from, so there's a fair bit of travel involved to get themselves organised, and these two have worked very well. They know their stuff. and they've been able to get the ones and the twos, in particular the short singles, and that's why they've got to 44 off just 8 overs. 5.5 an over, which is a very good start. Next ball is a tap away on the onside, a possible single, no. Bowler on the follow through picks up, and there's no run.
Certainly keen to tick over the strike, the Aussie pair. They've done it pretty well so far. As we have a look around the field, Canada have the man out at deep cover. There's a long off as well, trying to protect that offside. As Mace advances and gets himself into an awkward position, there's an appeal for leg before. I'm hoping that he's okay. Looks like he's going to get up off the deck, but a little bit ungainly that time from Stephen Mace. He was in two minds. He was coming at the ball, then at the last moment decided to get down low and try and sweep in the one motion. Didn't quite work out for him.
No, I'll be interested in the appeal because wicketkeeper is still looking. We won't not get a replay of that one, but let's see as he's batting well outside the leg stump. The next ball as he's forward, shuffles across the crease and pushes it away on the offside, and there's no run. But he in his exuberance to try and get that ball away, just lost balance, I think, in the finish. He's going to wait again. Left arm around the wicket. Ball of full toss, and it's swept away, and swept away very nicely indeed. And that ball, that's probably gone as far away off the wicket or off the ground of any ball. And the Canadian fieldsman has had to run probably 15 metres away from where the ground is, where the seats are for anyone who gets to the football or to the cricket. And it was safe. It was along the way, all along the ground all the way, and it went straight for 4. Good shot.
Well, it was similar what he tried to execute a couple of balls earlier, but he just was in a much better base and position, wasn't he? So, and timed it. You could hear the clunk off the middle of the bat. He really got it right in the screws, and it flew across the ground. And as Bolshy mentioned, went right through the seats on the outer rim of the facility and out into the dirt car parking behind there. So he certainly really is up and about, Stephen Mace, isn't he?
He is. Yes, he's. When you say not troubling the scorer, well, he is. He's not troubling the scorer. He's making the scorer get the flashing biros in action. Hope you're doing well down there, Horse, one of our scorers, and he's been around for a while. I met Horse this time last year, and haven't had any trouble with Horse. Not as much trouble as I've had with horses at racetracks. Horse is reliable, a lot more reliable than the horses that I'm trying to get reliable with.
He's a very good operator, no doubt about that. As we get through the end of the 9th over, and Australia really moving along very comfortably. And their score is 1 for 48. 77 runs required from 36 overs, as the left-hander now will take strike. Ryan, as a few amendments made to the field. They've got 3 men outside the 30-yard circle now. As he advances, hits down the ground, and he'll pick up a single.
Gee, the score coming through then from the Australian over-55s is a reasonable start to the Australian batting lineup. It's into the 12th over, none for 73.
It's good going, isn't it?
Is it what? Chasing 190 for victory. And the other score, oh dear, USA.
Yeah.
Look forward to meeting her at the YMCA. 5 for 22. Australia A over 50's got 8 for 260, so not a good start there.
And we've got some score overlay on the screen. It's been a long effort from the boys from Be Live and Anthony Telfer to get the right connection to that, but now we can bring you those updated real-time scores, which is a massive bonus for those of you who are watching in live on our YouTube channel. So none for 51, halfway through the 10th.
This ball is hit down the ground. Good shot. We'll get through for the 1. That's all. Along the ground all the way. And the Australians now, well, none for 51 in the 10th over, chasing a score of 125. Batting beautifully. Next ball outside the off stump, cut back with a point. They'll get 1. They will think of No, it's bounced back the return. That's a good shot, but a good return too. Yeah, there's no run.
So Kaiser, up for 28, just about wrapping up his 5th over. So we may well see a change from the Murray River end shortly, as he asked the question of umpire Charlesworth. So it doesn't quite get the response he was looking for. So that's the end of 10 overs, and Australia are none for 53. Mace is 32 from 40, and Ryan 21 from 21. So we'll just wait and see here. We can see one of the umpires reaching out for the jacket. So things just cooling down a little bit out in the middle at the moment. Still some good sunshine to be had here. Plenty of cloud cover, but we're on track for a beauty tomorrow. Fine and sunny, tops of 25 degrees.
25. Where are we heading tomorrow?
I think we're back here tomorrow.
Back here? We might stay here. If that's not something that you would have considered?
No. Not driving in this morning, it probably wasn't. I didn't come prepared, Peter, but
No, okay.
We've got the heater up there, which we might be able to switch into gear a bit later on if required.
Well, the TAB's just down the road, isn't it?
We go down to the Gold Hotel and
have one of those.
Those Parmesanas.
That's
that
it.
come with
That's
such
what I was
high
waiting
regard.
for. Yep. No, that's good. Nice hotel at Gold. The Australians doing well. There's the first ball of the next over. And it's hit with precision down the ground. It was hit, and they've gone through for one and looked for the second, but that wasn't going to happen. The only reason was he hit it so hard, it bounced straight to the fieldsman.
Didn't give him the chance to get back for the second, so there he's into his 3rd over, none for 7, so he's managed to keep things reasonably under control. He's certainly very busy getting his field placement set. So Canada now have a long off and a long on, and they've got the deep extra cover for Stephen Mace, who currently is 32, and he looks to try and work this one backward a point. They'll get through for another single. They've been so good at that, haven't they, Walshy?
Yep.
Ticking over the run rate.
Yes, it's playing with the guys at the opposite end who know your stuff, and you work in teamwork and you work in partnerships, and that's what's happened. And they're building now with Nair in his 3rd over at none for 7. He hasn't been knocked about too much, but they haven't got a wicket, and that's what they need. Is there'll be another run this time off the back foot. It's pushed away out towards point on the offside, and there's no run. So the continuation of this strangulation for the Australians, who would be wanting to continue on, get a good feel for what's happening. Canada, the new kids on the block, and I'm not saying that with any degree of criticism, they'd learn from every game that they play, and being away in different circumstances and different conditions. Next ball is pushed away, and pushed away very strongly indeed for a couple. Will they run on the 3rd? I don't think so. It's returned from the outfield and bounced into where the wicketkeeper gets away, but there's 2 runs, and the Australians now at none for 57 with Mace on 33 and Ryan 24.
That current run rate is at 5.43. That target of 125 is certainly well within reach as Mace again advances, hits through the offside. Man out at long off's got a bit of work to do. I don't think he's going to get there in the end, so it goes over for another boundary.
It's Billy. We saw him in action.
We surely did.
We were watching Billy.
Stephen Mace continues to pile them on here, and he has been super impressive at the top for the Aussies.
Well, each of the runs, or each of the balls have been tapped for runs. It wasn't tapped, that was struck with authority, and most importantly, hit to the right places. He's down the field again, and he hits back down the ground. This time it will be fielded, but not cleanly, and they can run on the misfield. Getting back to complete 2. This one bounces back to Nair, who's been, well, pulverised in that quarter, in that over. Let's see, 1-1 is 3, 5, 7, 11 runs. One of the most expensive overs so far in the day.
I think I put the commentator's curse on him. I said he was keeping things reasonably under control, but just unfortunately got away from him in that his 3rd over.
Yeah, none for 64. And repeating that score we had earlier on, the United States, well, they've got the speed wobbles, chasing 260. Hardy got 50, and Maguire got 49. And the last score we had was the US of A were 5 for 22. They're now 5 for 24 after the Australian over 50's got 8 for 260. In the other game, Australia over 55's none for 84. Spirit of Cricket World 11 over 55, 7 for 189. So some good runs coming from the Australian teams, plural, in those matches.
So once again, Mace and Ryan continue to build the momentum here. Ryan pick up a nice double out to the long off boundary. Sets himself again. Goes down the ground. Will pick up a single towards long on. And there's definitely intent with every delivery, Peter, isn't there? That they want to score for every single ball they face.
They do, yep. They do. Well, the run rate required now is just 1.72. And at none for 67. Afternoon tea will be early. Now that ball he hit, it wasn't the best looking shot, but it's going to produce, I should say, 4 runs. He dragged it across on the onside and it bounced away. And Mace and Ryan doing very well, bringing the score to none for 71 with Mace on 45 and Ryan 26.
Yeah, super start here from the Aussies. As they look to get amongst it early. As Mace just rolls it through the cordon. And they'll get back for another couple here. So he is rapidly approaching his half century, isn't he, Steve?
He looks like he's going to be a half century man, with Hardy getting a half century and Maguire getting 49 big scores in the game where Australia A were in the over 50's. And getting out there and staying there for a while, that's got to be value. Next ball down the ground. He hits well. It's very well indeed. Won't be a boundary because it's being swept up there at deep long off. And the ball is returned strongly. Long way out from that boundary. And that was Harmit Singh who did the fielding and returned well.
I thought we were just about in the presence of greatness. Anthony Telfer was going to jump in. He may well do so a little bit later on, but I think he's going to see if he can find us one of the Aussies to have a chat to. As part of this run chase.
Yep, that'd be good.
As Ryan just tucks it around the corner behind square for another single. So
a bit of hurry.
None for 75 at the end of 12 overs. And yeah, Australia certainly making every post a winner here. Mace is 48. Ryan is 27. And the partnership is 75 runs from 73 balls in just 42 minutes, Peter Walsh.
That's good. And too, a special hello to those who might be watching our coverage, wherever you might be. You might actually be in Canada.
Maybe we'll be.
Yep. So I hope you're enjoying what we've got to offer. We'd like to see a closer game, but that's beyond our control. But I hope that we're giving you some idea as to what it's like playing cricket in Mildura. That's at a place called Gol. Write that down. Gol. G-O-L, pause, G-O-L, pause. It's near the Murray River, which starts in Queensland and just works its way all the way virtually in Australia. It's amazing.
Through to the Coorong, down south.
Absolutely, yeah. The magnificent Murray. I've been there before many times and sat there and thought, this is a slice of paradise. And then you catch a carp. So you give it to someone who goes past and then get in the car and drive off.
Yep.
No, you don't. You don't do that.
All right, so Mace on strike as Nair continues. Left arm around the wicket. Stands strong and forces that one under the onside. And I reckon that might be his half century, the big fellow. Gets a thunderous round of applause from downstairs. His fellow teammates and the crowd getting right behind what's been a great start to his tournament so far. 52 from 48 deliveries. And Australia now no wicket for 80 midway through this, the 13th over. Going at a strike rate of 108.33, which is very, very impressive, Peter Walsh.
It is. Yes, it is. But I think the most important thing is in this competition, all right, this game is out of the way, and it's certainly nothing but praise for all of the teams that are playing, but you're not going to be able to play in terms of any sides that don't have the strength. Canada, unfortunately, just getting into the competition, and so the Australians you'd expect would have won this game, and they're playing like winners at the moment.
That they are. Peter Walsh, I think we've got a special guest who might just slip into your chair shortly at the end of this over, but you can stick with us for another couple of deliveries. Looks like we've got Anthony Barranca from WA. Okay, it's going to be you, Peter. I'm heading off.
Are you now?
I'm under the control of Anthony Telfer. We're just trying to get our head around a couple of things here. We will be there shortly as we get through the end of this over. As Ryan swings lustily to the onside, and away goes Billy Bowden into his stride.
Good on you, Billy.
Another boundary for the Australians, and they are certainly really making a statement in this opening fixture of our Spirited Cricket Festivale for Globo Roller Bowling in 2025.
None for 85. Mace 53, Ryan 32. Nair, whose last over went for 11, has 5, 6, 10 off this over with 1 to go. So he's been punished. And the Australians, it just looks now, if there's so many gaps in the field, they haven't had to go airborne very often. But Ryan's facing in, what's he going to do? He does go airborne, could be caught, no! It fell through the man at backward square leg, and it's going to run all the way out to the fence where there's one car out there, and that's a boundary. And so Pat Silcox leaves, and Anthony Barranca, I think, is coming in. He is. Anthony, good afternoon to you and welcome aboard. You're all good? Now you can hear yourself talk. I can't hear you very well. I'll just get a little bit more volume from Anthony if I could, please. Let's have a look now. Welcome.
Thanks, Walshy.
That's better, yeah.
That's good.
Gee, there's been some fun and games out there, if you don't mind. This has been good, strong, bold batting, the two of them looking as if they want to be there when they knock over 124.
Definitely. It's actually, we are trying to play it a little bit more aggressively on this tour. We've got the batsmen that can play like that, so I think actually Paul's done a good job of playing second fiddle to Mace, because he can and likes to go long and hit the ball over the boundary, so it's a good start.
What's the build-up been like from your point of view, personally, getting into another competition where you know it's full-on action, action, action?
Yeah, well, we were lucky enough to get a sports and strength and conditioning, program set up 8 weeks after the camp that we all went on.
Yes, who set that up for you?
That was Pricey through Pat. Sorry. No. Oh, sorry. So that was set up through David Saker.
Oh yes,
Guido organised, a couple of guys to come in on that camp, and this guy that worked with Brisbane set up a bit of a program for us that we could do an 8-week program either with the gym or not with the gym, and I thrived on it. I think I'm fitter than I was, 2-3 years ago.
Now, you're the only one from WA.
No, Millbank, Grant.
Oh, of course, that's right. Now,
Yes.
Does it make much difference when you're far away? Is it hard to be able to get together, I know Zoom, and I know you can jump in and be available for any chats at all, but what does it do for you?
Yeah, it is difficult, but we found our ways. It's a good shot over.
Has it gone for 6? No, it hasn't. Thanks, Chiller.
We indoor nets. A lot of our training has been indoors.
Yep.
A lot of batting practice, not a lot of fielding, but mainly just keeping fit and strong.
Are you fit and stronger than last year?
I am, yeah, definitely, 100%. Little bit of a knee issue last year, which I was, managing, but no, 100%, and been looking forward to this for a long time.
Mace 59, Ryan 36, none for 95, none for 95. Mace 59. He's not going to get a ton, you wouldn't think, because there's not enough runs to chase.
But he's swinging hard.
He's swinging hard, and he's swinging with lust and gusto. The next ball down the ground on the onside, beats the field, and it runs away for another boundary beside a big green rubbish bin down there. That's another boundary. And he's 63, Ryan 36, none for 99. What was the track doing out there earlier today?
It was a great track, I think. Winning the toss and batting or being put in, it was hard. A couple of balls held up, which is to be expected. But being behind the stumps, it played very true. The ball swung most of the day. But no, a great track. The square looks really good out there. The curator's done a great job.
And did you have a chance at all? I know you're concentrating at the highest level, but to have a chat at all to the opposition team, the Canadians who are out here? They seem like a good bunch of blokes.
They are, and Billy's been great out there, and that's helped keep the mood, lighten the mood. Couple of them, Ishant Sharma, who bowled really well for us, was really big on run-outs and kept on saying that he's going to barbecue his teammate, and they're like, what's this barbecue? So I had to explain to one of the guys what that meant, but that was quite funny. But so it was, it was played in good spirits out there.
Yeah, well, one of the funniest things that I'd experienced was when I walked over and I said to a couple of the scorers from Canada, two beautiful young ladies, and I said, what do you think of Gol? And they looked at me. And I said, Gol. And they said, Gol in India, as this next ball is dispatched away on the onside for 2, maybe 3. They won't come back on the run. No, they won't come back on the throw, so just the 2 runs. It's done for 99. Gol in India means you go around in circles. So
well, we are playing around oval.
But no, they are just really nice people. And
they are.
They'd be learning a lot from this, wouldn't they?
Oh, no doubt. And that guy that made 40, he was very solid. He played very straight, and he was unlucky not to get his half century. But they're good people, and it was played in great spirits out there.
Well, he is named Talati. Now, he is the Iceman that he's called.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that before.
Like that.
He messed around for a while and then looked like he was going okay, but just grafting his runs, wasn't he?
He was. He was trying to get on strike when he could. He's a quality player.
Yep. None for 100, partnership of 100 with Mace 64, of 84 deliveries and Ryan 36. This has been a big performance. The run rate is 7.2, none for 101. How would you describe your keeping today? Were you happy?
I was happy. Missed one stumping, which kind of got a little bit big on me, but I still expect to take it. So no, but overall, I was happy, and I think, I think I can just get better from it.
Now, did you get buys given against you that you disagreed with?
No, I think they were leg buys. 4 wides.
4 wides.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure yet.
Yeah, it was wides, and I was just disappointed that I didn't get across far enough to stop it. But Ishant can get one to his leggies to go more than the others.
Yep.
Bowls a really good toppy and the wrong, and that only goes slightly, but he's a really quality bowler, and I actually really enjoyed keeping to him.
9 overs, 2 for 31.
Yeah, it was impressive, and he bowls at a pace where if he lands it, can be quite difficult.
Is it much of a difference in all conscience when you're taking the balls from your quick bowlers and all of a sudden you get a spinner in? What's the mindset for you to get ready?
Well, you don't have as much time. It's more about your footwork, getting across for the pace bowlers. But with a spinner, and you've got a batsman right there that can flay the bat.
Yes.
The bat can get in the way, and you've just got to be in the right spot and alert a lot more.
Are you? Would you prefer a fast bowler or a spin bowler?
I enjoy both. If it was up to me, I'd go up the stumps to everyone.
Would you?
I love it. Yeah, I really do.
Well, the Canadian wicketkeeper, Kiran Patel, he was up at the stumps. I know that their first 2 bowlers aren't all that quick as the Australians, but he was up there. Is that the way you'd like it?
I think our guys can nick players up early, so I'll always, the first 10 overs. But someone like a Grant Milbank who bowls at that speed, or a Bloomy, I could see me coming up in some games for them.
We've got Anthony Baranka, who's the Australian wicketkeeper from Western Australia. Now, this team, what do you do with the rest of the tournament? There's a lot of, I'm playing against the other Australian team. Let's see how we go. Yeah. What does that do for you? How does it go with your good mates? Of course you are. You're good mates, but you'd like to beat them.
Oh, definitely, and they want to beat us badly. and they're a good side, don't worry. We know how good a side they are, and under Grant Dew, I know how competitive he is.
Yep.
He's he had a bit of a chat to him yesterday after our meeting.
What did he say?
Well, I wasn't there.
Well, you could have found out for us.
I'll tell you what. I know he's he would have said something along the lines of, "We're going to beat these guys." He honestly believes he can beat us, and they can. We've got to be on our best to beat them. They're a good side, and I think it'll be a great game.
This is the spirit of cricket, though. You've got to be nice to each other, don't you?
Oh yes, there'll be some good sledging, no doubt about that. But it'll be played in, hard but fair, as they say.
So what about the spirit of cricket? Where do you think it's at now? You've enjoyed it before. What about this year? How good is it compared to previous years?
Yeah, no, it's getting better every year, and I'm here for the T20 stuff later on next week as well.
Yeah.
And that's another angle of it. So all of our players really appreciate what Telf is doing and where this is going, and I can see it not even stopping at cricket.
Do you think that you're a better player because you've been playing spirit of cricket? Your mindset has changed now. You've got as you said, the 20 overs next week. You've got 45 at the moment. It's different. So how do you go from one to another?
In terms of the spirit of cricket, I think when I retired playing A-grade cricket at my Perth Cricket Club back at home, and then 9 years later, coming back to the game, I've kind of mellowed out already a little bit, but the appreciation of the spirit of cricket, you've got more people around playing it in that way.
Yes.
So you appreciate it a little bit more. But yeah, the T20 is very similar. It's a little bit quicker and faster, but it's still played in the right spirit.
And all that you have to do too, Anthony Branca, our special guest on our coverage of the match between Canada and Australia. It's none for 109. Australia with Mace on 67 and Ryan on 42. Canada at 9 for 124. There's gaps. What do you do with your gaps then? And you've got to keep together the team. But is it difficult to be able to be friends with people all the time?
No, not at all. Not in this environment. We're playing for Australia. There's guys on tour. It's their first game.
Yep.
You really get to know new guys that that will be mates for life, which happened to me in South Africa in 23.
Is that right?
The World Cup. Yeah, we still got our group chat. We still catch
That's
up.
fantastic.
Yeah, and we like even the guys in the 55s now. They want to know how well we've done. We want to know them, and it's beautiful, mate.
It's like last night, and I said with sincerity at the official function and the official opening, it's so important to understand the friendships that you make, and where possible, if you can keep. If you can, as you said, the group chats and to say good day, how you going, those sorts of things, if you can keep doing that, it's half the battle won.
Oh, it is. Mental health is a big factor in this kind of age group, and the stories and people you get to meet.
Yep.
Cricket.
You meet people like me.
Yeah, and cricket's just a sport because there's guys have been through some tough times, and even guys coming back to cricket a little bit like me. Not that I've had it tough, but some guys you just get appreciation, and it's another family for them, and we love it.
So do you reckon you're better now? And I'm not telling you to get on your high horse. I'm telling you to be honest with me. Yeah. You're better now as a cricketer than you were, say, 2 or 3 years ago?
The way I play the cricket?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's just a game, but you can cop it on the chin and move on, even if it's the wrong decision. It's not the be-all and end-all. Yeah. So, no, I'm a definitely better cricketer.
And just finally, I wanted you to talk about wicket-keeping. How then do you continue to maintain what is difficult? You get out there and you're concentrating every day, every ball is a treasure to you. You've got to look after yourself. How do you do that?
I think the key is switching off, when to switch off. I mean, it's like batting. You see guys walk to square leg, and the most important time was in the bowl at the top of his mark. And for me, it's the same. As a keeper, you just got to switch off. And I must admit, I do a bit of work keeping, but when it's off season, I try and forget.
What do you do?
I try and play a bit of golf.
Okay.
I breed and race greyhounds. I try.
Oh, do you?
I do. Yeah, they're my love.
What's your best?
My best at the moment, it's a dog, our Aussie Salute. He's won a few city races in Cannington at the moment.
Yep.
Hello to my mate Jamie Marsh, who trains him back at home. But it's just a passion of mine, and I pet him. I've got a few at home.
Oh, right.
Yeah, just it's not.
I'm just writing that down. Our Aussie Salute. When's it racing again at Cannington?
It'll be Saturday night.
Saturday night. What box?
I don't know yet.
Well, get a good one, will you?
I'll have to have a look.
All right. And then a final one. We, and of course, Telf's been able to negotiate and get Billy Bowden with us, and we're thrilled because he just seems like a bloke who is affable with everyone. He just likes to be someone that wants to talk and wants to be involved.
Yeah, there were a lot of blokes out there today. Like, as soon as a wide came, they just, what's Billy going to do? Or 4, what's Billy going to do? And we haven't seen the classic 6 yet. So
No,
I really want one of these guys to get a hold of one, and so we can just see that.
He looks like a flying magpie when there's the occasional boundary.
Oh, yeah, he's right into it. Yeah.
Oh, it's good though. And isn't it good for cricket?
It's great. Yeah, Chiller, I think, had a bit of involvement to get him down here as well as Telf, and yeah, it's so good for the game.
All right, just stay with us till the end of this over if you wouldn't mind. It's none for 118.
That's a good shot straight to the wicket.
And it might go all the way. It does.
Yeah, great shot.
Powerful blowing. The target is 125, and it's now, we'll get this score ticked over. It's none for 118.
Yeah, we need Mace to get a 1 and get off strike so we can get Rhino to his half century.
Well, all
right.
right. Well, they'd know that runs. Because they know you're up here and they know you'd be giving that vibe.
No, mate. Mace is a run machine. He just sees ball, hits balls. He's not worried about anything else. It's good to watch.
Well, we're nearing the end of the 16th over as this next ball is pushed down the ground for a single.
How many balls left in the over?
Let's have a look and see. Well, according to our computer, we have 2 to go, but
2 to go. So
I'm not sure. Oh, no. Gudapali is bowling.
Oh, okay. So
he's only bowled 2 balls.
So he needs to get 2.
So you can work.
No, can't happen.
Well, you're doing a better job than me working out statistically. As this one has swung away on the onside. There's your
Billy.
6. There's your 6, I reckon. Billy, go for it, Billy. 1, 2, 3, go,
Yes.
Billy. Do me, Billy. Good grief, he's going to fall over.
That was I knew it'd be good.
What was that?
So he did get it. 51.
Oh, look, I hope that we can see that again.
That's gold. It was meant to be. It was meant to happen.
Well, he heard us.
He did.
Billy, I hope we can see that. No, we can't. That is extraordinary. Yeah, he produced something out of somewhere in your body, but it was extraordinary.
And he did it.
He did it, and that's it.
That's excellent. Well batted. Well, I might have to get down.
All right. Thank you so much for coming up, Anthony.
My pleasure, Walshy.
Good to talk to you too, and thanks for being so honest and open and giving us the details there with that 6 struck with the Australians winning at none for 129 with Mace on 78 and Ryan on 51 and the score finishing with that monstrous blow that went over the top 4-6. And Billy, don't be a hero. Don't be a fool with your life. Billy, don't be a hero. Come on, maybe. No such strife. How about that? Welcome back to Pat Silcox. What a shot and what a performance by Billy Bowden.
Here we go. We might have some vision of Bill getting into stride here. He absolutely launches into it. Watch him go. Oh, he didn't quite get the full effect of it, but we waited until the last ball of the game for Billy Bowden to give us some of his best work. And my goodness, Peter Walsh, Australia, haven't they really done the job here? None for 129 in chase of Canada's 9 for 124, which is posted in the session earlier today in their 45 over stint. Stephen Mace, 78 from 62 deliveries with 11 boundaries. And amazingly, in the end, Paul Ryan finishing like a freight train, 51 off 38, including 5 boundaries, and that maximum, which was, in the end, turned out to be the last ball of the game.
Yeah, it was extraordinary. Now, I'm just working out that he's got the stumps, but he'll give them back to Chiller if he thinks he's going anywhere with the stumps. You've got another thing. Come on, Billy. Chiller's walked straight past, and everyone's pretty happy. And you want to see a good finish, and that was exactly what we saw. A very good finish and an impressive performance by the Australians. Mace made 78 not out, Ryan 51 not out, and the score in the chase was no wicket for 129. How good is that?
Yep, they've made the perfect start, and let's quickly just go through those bowling figures. Roy, 3 overs, none for 19. Kaisar, 6 overs, none for 39. Nair, 4 overs, none for 31. Pandya, 2 overs for 21. And then Gudapali, who was getting through at the back end there, none for 19 from his 1.3 overs. So comprehensive. No matter which way you look at it, Peter Walsh, Australia getting the job done and can certainly move ahead into day number 2 with great confidence.
And I loved the way that Anthony Baranko said, oh yeah, we're getting okay, we'll be all right. That should be a fair game between us and them. So us and them are two new teams in this competition. It's not Gold Coast and the Brisbane Lions, but it's Australia versus Australia. And you remember the days when we had the two Australian teams playing
Yes.
in one-day games in particular? And
Yep.
I always knew who I was backing for, Australia. That's the easiest way out. But did that get you going? Does this sort of get you going, that sort of spirit between the two
Yeah,
teams?
look, I think obviously that particular quadrangular series you're talking
Yep,
about, which
yep.
featured Zimbabwe, and I can't remember the other team that was here at the time, but we saw the emergence of young guys like I think Brett Lee come through that team at the time. Shane George got his opportunity
Yes,
in
he
South
did.
Australia. Greg Rowell played a bit there, so we saw a lot of young guys that probably weren't getting the exposure at the highest level. So it was a great opportunity for those folks. I think Greg Blewett also played in that team as well. So no, I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm not quite sure how the dates line up as to when the two Aussie teams will do battle with each other, but really looking forward to seeing how that one comes to pass. But definitely, it's been Australia all the way in this one today, and Walshy, we can maybe just quickly get a refresh on the other games
Yes,
that
please.
are doing the results around the traps at the moment. So in the other over-50s game, which is being played at Kenny Park in Mooraboon, the USA have steadied a little, 5 for 45 after 15 overs in pursuit of Australia A's 8 for 260. And in the over-55s game at Quandong Park in Redcliffs, it is Australia A after 19.2 overs, 1 for 120, chasing the Spirit of Cricket World 11, 7 for 189. So that one's going to be certainly a pretty decent battle all the way through.
Now, can I get the Omen score, which is important? Do you know if Hawthorn has batted for the USA?
I can find out for
Paul
you.
Hawthorn.
Let's have a look.
Let's just see. I met him and thought, yep, I like him.
He was out LBW for 2 at the top.
An appalling decision. There was
been
no
going
way
down.
known that was out.
Must have been going down leg side.
And did you hear also Anthony talking about, he reckoned it was a leg bye when it went away for 4.
Right.
And he thought, no bye.
Well, we discussed that during
Exactly.
the live play, didn't we? We thought it
Exactly.
might have just brushed the thigh on the way through. So as you said, the wicketkeeper's always very frugal.
I know.
Never wanted to give him away too much, that's for sure.
Well, I said, Pat thought it was byes, and he said, what?
Oh, fantastic. So, a really entertaining start to our Spirit of Cricket Festivale for 2025. Quick wrap up on those final scores. Canada 9 for 124 from their 45 allotted overs, and Australia winning by 10 wickets, finishing with none for 129 after 16.3 overs. So, Peter Walsh, Australia, with the first victory of the tournament.
Absolutely. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage from Goal. We have enjoyed presenting it to you, thanks to Joel and to Todd for their technical assistance, and thanks to Anthony Telfer in the back of the box as we enjoy the start of what is a massive week and a bit of football in the Big M country in Mildura. Peter Walsh signing off from Goal. Australia winning, none for 129. They had a comfortable victory over Canada, 9 for 124. Good afternoon to you all.
Are you a batsman who's still training hard, still getting starts, but the big scores just won't come? It's not your technique, it's your process. Email the word SPIRIT to info@simplebatting.com and we'll show you the 3 simple steps serious batsmen are using to become the run scorer their team relies on, season after season.
Begins with passion. It begins with Yashi Sports. Canada's home of cricket, trusted by players worldwide. From head to toe, complete cricket solutions. Official uniform supplier for GT20 and CCMC. For every walk to the crease, for every bold start, for every fearless shot, Yashi Sports. Canada's home of cricket begins with passion. It begins with Yashi Sports. Canada's home of cricket, trusted by players worldwide. From head to toe, complete cricket solutions. Official uniform supplier for GT20 and CCMC. For every walk to the crease, for every bold start, for every fearless shot, Yashi Sports. Canada's home of cricket begins with passion. It begins with Yashi Sports.